today. We've moved away from Ireland a little bit. We have created our FBO over here, which is nearly ready. I think it's still got one more day to go. But I have brought a new aircraft, and unfortunately it was up here in the north of Scotland. This is where we had to go to pick it up. I've transported my man, and this is the Bonanza G36 ASBO. Now this is a 6-seater. So for 2 or 3 episodes now, I plan to fly this up here around the north. I have to bring it back somewhere down here eventually. So that will be the plan for a couple of episodes now. Then we'll head out to St. Lucia, and in the meantime as well, in a couple of days, once we've got a bit more money, I'm going to build our first base down in New Zealand. That would be our plan. Now this was supposed to be a live stream. Some of you might know this flight already that we're going to do today. Basically, I messed up the live stream because the time on the game, I forgot to change the time before I sent everybody out working, and unfortunately once people are in the air, and they're in the air for a couple of hours, I couldn't change the time. And all these kind of airports up here don't have lights. They're too small. So unfortunately that was the situation, but here we are. So episode number 6, I'm going to replicate the same flight. It's a very short flight, worth a bit of money. We're taking some army personnel from EGZT, and we're taking them to EGET. That is the plan. Next episode, I'm going to try and get a job to go over to the Faroe Islands, come back round, and then something into Glasgow, Edinburgh, and then that's when we will transport our man across to St. Lucia. So there you go, that's the plan. We've got a couple of company guys, they're out in Germany at the moment, in Denmark. They're kind of pulling in the money for us at the moment during the day. I have an aircraft. If anybody wants to rent any, we have the Skyhawk up in Donegal. I also have the DA40 down in Galway. And I do have a 152 that I do need to move back somewhere. I am thinking that maybe I might set up an FBO around this area somewhere and move it. So we might come into the north of England somewhere. Haven't decided yet. Okay, but let's get on with today's flight. It's a very, very short flight, so I'm probably going to show you the whole flight. We're going to our aircraft. We're going to go up to our Bonanza. It's only done 3,980 hours. That's not too bad. We're going to prepare it for the flight. Okay, I don't know what that was all about. Loading flights. Oh, okay, it's because I already had it set up. Let's resume that. Yeah, there we go. We're going a very short flight. So what we're going to do, the direct line will be this. We're going to head a little north, and then we're going to come in. It's a very short runway. Hopefully we're going to spot it in time. Not the easiest of flights for the plane that we have. So we are taking some army personnel. Everything is looking good.
Your flight is resumed in on air.
Yeah, it is now resumed. That's good. Okay, let's go into the simulator, and here we are. Here is our new aircraft, a lovely little 6-seater. Oh look, there's 2 of us here. As you can see, this is the parking. It is literally a field in the middle of this island. So, short runway. Hopefully we're going to get enough to take off. Jesus. Yeah, not the best for this aircraft, but this is where it was positioned. Unfortunately, this was the best price for the condition. I think I paid 239 grand for this aircraft, but it's a 6-seater, so it's pretty handy. So this will be available to rent eventually. We might even buy one of these for St. Lucia yet. I haven't decided. I was thinking of a DA62, but we will see how we go with all of that. I haven't really made up my mind yet. Okay, so here we are in the cockpit. A few things to look at. Is our fuel on? Yep. Okay, that's fine. We can put our mixtures and our propeller RPM up, which is nice. There's our trims. Parking brake is set. Okay. We're good to start putting on some batteries. Battery 1, battery 2, alternator 1, alternator 2, master avionics. We don't need any AC in here really, to be honest with you. Strobe, beacons, navigation lights, why not throw them on? Right, left. Auxiliary pump on. Right, left. Both.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Okay, landing taxi lights are on. Okay, let's set our flaps to take off. And I don't have my GPS line. Why don't I have my GPS line? This is where we're going. That's not a big deal. We can work that out ourselves. Okay, lights all set, flaps are set, fuel set. We don't have a lot of fuel in this in this aircraft, unfortunately, because as you can see, there's nowhere to fuel it here. But we do have a pushback, man. Okay, so we're going to be flying this manually by hand the whole way. I can break off. Let's go down to the end of the runway. The very end of the runway. Oh, okay. We don't want to be crashing into other aircraft. And there is no real taxiway, I suppose. So yeah, this is why we couldn't do the flights last night. Look, there is just no lights. These aren't big airports, they're just airfields, really. But we are taking our 4 army personnel. We're going to take up every inch of this runway that we can have. Okay, continue making the turn. And we're pretty much good to go. Once we're on, 50%, 100%. We have airspeed. $70 knots, and let's rotate. Gear up.
Airborne time locked.
And we will be making our turn to the right now. Nice slow time turn to the right. Flaps up. Okay, RPM is a little high. $500 feet. Gonna take them RPM down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, we're now climbing up. As we leave Scotland, it's very hard to fly manually out here. There we go, look at that. Yeah, screenshot for Discord. There we go. Okay, so we're up. We will not be going very high today, around 2,000 feet or so. I am going to be using the pitch. So that is what we're trying to work out now. Could do flight level change, could use all the autopilot features, but I don't think there's any point. It's too much of a short flight. But the auto pitch on this is a little bit hard work. Okay, we're climbing through 1500. Beautiful out there. I do like this aircraft, I must admit. We might buy one of these for St. Lucia. It's nearly like an exec. It's nice. Quite stable for the default aircraft as well, which I quite like. Okay, we're going through, I think, 2,000 feet now. Yeah, okay, so we'll bring the nose down just a tad. We don't really need to climb too high today. There's no hills or mountains. We can take a little bit of the RPM out. And we can just take a little bit of that mixture out as well. There we go. We don't want to be overdoing the engine. There's no need for that. Okay, let's try and get this pitch sorted. So we're taking our 4 army personnel over to EGET. I think this is worth a good kind of $7.5 grand. So, you know, it's a very short flight, but it's going to pay for itself. The bigger problem we're going to have is fuel. Let's have a look at our fuel gauge down here. yeah, it's not amazing, no doubt about that. So hopefully this airport has somewhere for us to fuel, an FBO at least. Okay, we're now climbing up to 25,000 feet, so we are just trying to trim out the aircraft. Up or down with this, isn't it? I hope on the next update, which I believe is on the 27th of September, hopefully this pitch control is adjusted a little bit, because it's a little bit nuts. Now I'm going up, or I'm going down. I'm only touching it by 1 notch. Bringing itself down nicely. But you're just going to take away to the left a little bit more. Like I said, is want to give ourselves enough time to line up with the runway. I'm glad there's clear weather today, that's for sure. A little village down there. All looking pretty nice. Everything's stable. RPMs are nice. Yes, everything's looking good. Nice little short flight. One thing I didn't turn off was my taxi lights. We do not need them. Everything else is on. Everything else is good. Okay, lovely. Okay, so the pitch is bringing us down just a little bit. I'm just going to take out some of the speed. And that means I'm going to push up the RPM. I'm going to just take a little bit of the altitude out. Now I'm going to pick up airspeed. Slowly make the turn, and hopefully we're going to see some sort of runway. Come out a little bit more. There you go, flaps wad it. Wheels down. And here is our airfield. Very, very short runway, so I'm just going to try and kill some of the speed by dipping and taking up the height.
Read calm.
Try and line ourselves up. Flaps 2. Definitely not. Not quite down yet.
Landing time logged. Landed at Echo Golf Echo Tango.
Okay, it wasn't my prettiest of landings, of course. But, you know, it's not too bad. Actually, the runway was a lot longer than I expected from this airport. I thought it was going to be like the other airfield, to be honest with you. But there we go. We landed. We kept it in the air just. Not bad for the first flight. We have to get used to this aircraft. I'm going to definitely do more autopilot kind of stuff with this. This was just a short flight. We need fuel, and it looks like we're going to get fuel here, which is perfect. It looks like they have a few buildings. Oh yeah, fuel pumps. There we go. So there is an FBO here. So at least we can get fueled up. We might be able to make a bit of a longer trip, but I'd say we're going to have to take cargo to do a long trip. We're on the taxi lights. You see the man over there? That is the man we want. That's up. Okay, that's going to do for us. Parking brake set. Our army personnel are where they need to be. Okay.
Engine off time logged. End of flight, registered in on-air company.
Perfect, guys. Very short flight. A bit of a dodgy landing, but we did it. First landing in the plane. Actually, it's the first time I've flown this plane, apart from trying to land this at night on the stream. So yeah, so I do apologise for that. I will be streaming again Saturday evening. There might be another episode out before that. I don't know. Yeah, but look, I really like this aircraft. It's highly recommended. It's actually fairly cheap. 6 seats. Even though if you don't use the seats, you can take pretty good cargo. So if you are very early in the game, it's a good way to get around. It's got a good range, about 800 nautical miles. So yeah, definitely worth checking this plane out if you're early in the game. It is relatively cheap, and it's going to make you some decent money, as we're going to find out hopefully in a minute. So okay, so the flight is done. Let's go to our on-air. Okay, that is all done. Comfort bonus attained. Well, I'm very surprised. Apparently the aircraft stalled. Not too sure about that. Lights were on at shutdown, except beacon or strobe. Ah, okay. I thought I had to leave them on shutdown. I always get that mixed up. So let's press OK for that. Let's see how much money we made. We go to our dashboard. $3,570. That's not bad for a 50 nautical miles flight. That's actually really good. I'm quite happy with that. I thought it was a bit more. There we go. There is our landing fees. 20.66. We have to pay for the hotels for the other guys renting the other aircraft. But look, you can see these guys are pulling in the big money for me. They're doing flights for 10 people. Not going too far either, but they're pulling in some good money, and that's kind of where we want to get to eventually ourselves, but we don't have the license for that stuff yet. That is something that we will be doing as we go on. So that is the plan for this, guys. We're still up here. We're going to try and go across to these islands, or we're going to go to the Faroe Islands. That would be the next flight. If that has to be a stream or not, I don't know. Do want to come into the North Scotland, see some of these kind of hills up here, the Highlands. That'd be pretty cool. So I'd say we'd do 3 or 4 episodes up here in Scotland, and then we're going to move over here. So when I'm at work for a couple of days, when I can't get on this, I will transport my man across, because it's going to be a 2-day transport. There we go. So we have picked the next area as well. It will be New Zealand for the next FBO. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that too. And then maybe we'll come up to kind of like, you know, Fiji. Maybe do some island hopping here. Look, this might be pretty cool. Papua New Guinea, maybe. Look, we'll see. I'm sure there are some islands off Yeah, Australia as well. Up in the north. I mean, we can look at all of this stuff as we kind of go along. There we go, guys. If you are enjoying this content, please do subscribe down below to the channel. Hit the bell icon for notifications. I upload that every single day. If you want to come join the Discord, you're more than welcome. We talk about anything kind of transport related, obviously bus, trucks, planes, trains. And if any of you want to add me on air, you know, we have our own section on the Discord there for you guys, where we all kind of add each other and help each other, which is pretty nice. We can post our jobs, etc. I do have a job going if anyone is in the island in Galway, going to Knock Airport. It's a very short job. If anyone wants to do that, there is a plane available for renting as well. So look, I'll leave that up to you guys. Other than that, for myself, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.